Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Monday Night National Life Vantage webinar. My name is Gabe Pearson. Really happy that you're able to be on. And if you are a brand new distributor, welcome. And if you're a guest tonight, I want to thank you for being on. I think you're going to find the information that you're going to hear about this evening. It's going to be kind of mind-blowing to you, especially if you love your beloved pets. My story is pretty simple. I spent my entire career in the fitness industry. Goes back to 1979 to put a little bit of age behind me. I started out as a health club instructor, making minimum wage plus commission. My aspirations were to own health clubs all over the country and literally make millions and millions of dollars. I had that entrepreneurial mindset. Fast forward 20 years, I own 3 large health clubs in Jacksonville. I'm certainly not complaining, but it took me 20 years to actually figure out, even though I own those gyms, I was still building somebody else's dream. I didn't own the property that the gyms are on. All the real estate guys made all the money. You with me? I didn't own the finance company, made them over 20 years, literally hundreds of millions of dollars. And I started to figure out that, I needed to find something that I had more control over. Wasn't sure what direction to go in. Got out of the health club industry and started a small little personal training company, but it quickly morphed into a wellness company. And for about 6 or 7 years, we're living that American dream. And then what happened to this country in 2009? Unfortunately, the bottom fell out economically and we were a casualty. We lost 3 six-figure contracts in 30 days, and it literally, it just killed us basically. It's really interesting though, how life works. When a door is closing, another one opens, and I'm just so thankful that I was open enough to look into it. And what happened was I was asked to be a keynote speaker in Atlanta. I went up there thinking I could drum up new business to try to retool my company. And after my keynote, I'm speaking to a large corporate group. And after my keynote, a complete stranger walks up to me and asks me if I've ever heard this product called Protandem. And folks, let me tell you something. If there wasn't 8 to 10 people waiting in line to speak to me behind her, I probably would have turned around and walked away from her. In those, nearly 30 years at that time, I've never endorsed a product. And at that moment, this one wasn't going to be the first. I was trying to figure out how I could keep my kids in private school, how I could, save our home. But the next thing that came out of that woman's mouth literally retired me from the fitness industry 22 months later. And that was, would I be willing to watch a 9-minute video on an ABC primetime investigative report? Folks, that was my hook. I just don't ever remember hearing a television investigating reporting program with the credibility of ABC News ever do a positive spin on a dietary supplement. So when I came home and watched that video, the hairs in the back of my neck stood on end. And I remember watching this world-renowned scientist, who, by the way, I'd never even heard of before, give John Quinones his blood test results. I'm elbowing my wife. I'm like, honey, that hasn't happened yet. That's history in the making. And if we can validate this, I think we're on to something. Well, timing's everything. And I'm hoping that those of you that are on this webinar for the very first time as guests, I'm hoping your universe is about to open as mine did. And I remember beelining it to the Mayo Clinic. We just finished some work with those doctors out there, and I wanted to get their opinion. And when they validated the science for me, I checked the validity box, and the rest is history. So it's been an incredible, it'll be 10 years now in August. So the sustainability of this publicly traded company and watching the growth has just been an incredible journey. And we're hoping to open up your mind so you can kind of, do what I did. Try to find a reason not to do this, right? Tonight, I have an incredible guest. We're going to spotlight a specific product that I personally think that we don't talk enough about. And let me share a little bit of his robust bio before I introduce him tonight. He's been with LifeVantage since 2014. He's what we call a Premier Pro 5, which his business, and remember, this is a side hustle for him. His business does about $250,000 a year. He got his Bachelor of Science in Animal Science degree from Louisiana Tech University in 1986. He got his Doctor of Veterinary Medicine in 1989 from LSU. In 1990, he was employed by the USDA Food Safety Inspection Service as an implant veterinarian. Kind of interesting, huh? He also performs work as a relief veterinarian at the Jackson, Mississippi Zoological Park, and he's been doing that since 1991. Presently, he's the Deputy District Manager in the Jackson District, providing administrative oversight to over 1,100 safety employees in over 450 federally inspected processing facilities in the states of Mississippi, Tennessee, Alabama, and Kentucky. And I want to welcome Dr. David Thompson on our webinar tonight. David, how are you?
Good evening, Gabe. Doing just fine. Thank you so much for the invitation. It is such an honor to be shared.
Thank you. No, I tell you what, I remember this like it was yesterday when we met for the first time in Mississippi. And I just really value, your friendship first and foremost, and as a business partner, but more importantly, what you're going to bring to the table tonight for everyone. And tonight, folks, we're going to be specifically talking about, our pet tandem, our products for our animals. And I couldn't think of a better person than Dr. Thompson to be on tonight. And he's going to be sharing with you some really, really great slides, not only the science, but also, some testimonies, right? So how can you get testimonies from animals, right? I tell you what, Dr. Thompson, I'll let you have it. Go ahead and share your slide. And while you're doing that, just kind of, let everyone that's on tonight know why you chose LifeVantage.
Okay. Well, first, Gabe, I honestly can't do this job without my wife, Melissa. She's a 91 LSU graduate, and she is in the small animal practice. So this has been a co-business, co-owner, and certainly with her in practice and me in the regulatory field, this has been a win-win for us.
That's awesome.
Let me get the screen going here.
Yeah, touch on what she does. This companion, pet, medicine. That's really interesting. So I can't wait to hear both of your stories.
Okay. Well, typically most people relate to veterinarians coming in for their annual wellness checks for their four-footed family members, or sometimes even their four-hoofed family members.
Right.
Growing up, I was in 4-H and did exhibits with steers and breeding Brahma bulls, and worked on a thoroughbred broodmare farm. So I've always been attached to animals in some way. Pardon if you hear the bird in the background. She's gonna pretend and add a little brevity to the story. But,
it's so appropriate.
All right, so let me get this share going, and we will. All right, you see my screen there?
I can see it perfectly.
Very good. Yeah, tonight our focus is Pet Tandem. Like I say, it's the little brother of Pro Tandem, which, sponsored here by LifeVantage. My wife and I, here's our website, the dvmprohealth.lifevantage.com. But our story cannot begin without Oscar. Oscar here, he's an 11-year-old dachshund with he's gotten old. He has has difficulty moving. His mobility is very limited, as you can see here. He's already on what we consider current veterinary therapy for steroids, pain relievers, tramadol, Rimadyl that we use in the veterinary world. And that is a year of therapy without a lot of improvement. And these are our best friends. We're actually considering, is it time for Oscar to relieve some of his pain and suffering? I was approached at the gym one afternoon by my enroller here in LifeVantage, who told me of this remarkable product, this anti-aging product called Protandim. And as a matter of fact, as he knew I was a veterinarian, he said they have a canine product. I immediately knew that I have an index case. And like I said, my story wouldn't come without Oscar. So I bought some of the product, brought it home, gave it to my wife, who gave it to her best friend, Oscar's parents, and said, just give him 1 pill a day. Well, before I show you the next slide, we got a call 3 days later, and the owner wanted to know what was in this stuff. And of course, my wife at the time had no idea what it was. And here, I'll let you talk to David. And so, yeah, it's 5 natural occurring plant compounds, scientifically formulated and patented. And in 3 days, the owner had noticed improvement. Now, dogs don't know what a placebo is. They either feel better or they don't. What you don't see in that immediate picture there is his pillow, that he gets off his pillow to pee and poo and then get back on his pillow. The first thing the owner noticed that Oscar was going outside now to pee and poo within 3 days. Now, in 3 weeks, Oscar comes into the clinic for his annual checkup.
That's amazing.
And I'll let the picture speak for itself. As you can see, his mobility's greatly improved. His demeanor, he's no longer depressed. You see that happy tail. You see that sparkle in his face. So we knew at that time that there was something really revolutionary to this product. So I dove into research. And to the backstory is the owners actually did not enroll and subscribe in the Pet Tandem. And as we came back later, approximately 30 days later, Oscar had relapsed into his previous picture. We again got them a bottle of Pet Tandem. This time we took the video. So the results are repeatable over and over. And we're going to get into a couple of those here in a moment. So the root foundation of all of this, and as Gabe talked into, is oxidative stress. It's a big component of aging, which is, you know, with all the new millennials and even the boomers, this is part of wanting to live longer. Right now, currently, there are 207,000 articles for oxidative stress on PubMed.gov. So the medical profession is seeking answers constantly. And then this is the foundation that LifeVantage has of a product based on the good enzyme, as Gabe likes to call it, NRF2. It's currently 12,000 articles out there on NRF2. So what are we dealing with? The assault. Look at that number. I don't even know what that number is, but that's how many free radicals we are assaulted with each day as reactive oxygen species. Yes, we need oxygen to live, and it is vital for us, but it also, like everything else, seems to have some side effects. So reactive oxygen species affect our cells and can affect everything. So those oxygen species are coming from environmental sources, ozone, as you hear about it sometimes, our food we eat, releasing toxic chemicals, and other types of oxygen sources. We've been dealing historically through years with antioxidants. We know those antioxidants are good for us. However, when we make a distinction here, external, that we're taking like vitamin E, vitamin C, can only neutralize one free radical compound. It's just not enough, people. It is just, it's almost not worth it, okay? But the discovery by Dr. McCord, and I actually remember Dr. McCord from my veterinary college years, when I remember the discovery of superoxide dismutase in 1988, believe it or not. And so that development opened up a whole new field of how the body fights oxidants and aging. So now we're studying these indirect antioxidants. He discovered those good enzymes that are in our own cells, the SOD, the catalase, the glutathione, and what is so extraordinary there is each molecule of those indirect antioxidants in our body can tackle, assault, and conquer 1 million free radicals every second that they are in existence. Okay? So you see this slide is brought to you from Dr. Kangas from the American Journal of the Holistic Veterinary Medical Association from fall 2016. So this is some peer-reviewed science that shows the power and the benefits of what we have. Another study done, formerly our product was called Canine Health, and it talks about the abilities the body can get overwhelmed through the oxidants, through these free radicals, and how the body can go through there, okay? So I'm not going to read the whole slide to you, but it's certainly there. Unstable molecules that can wreak havoc, okay? LifeVantage had the forethought to develop something for our other family members. And since we know our dogs age 7 times faster than we do, what a wonderful model to see and relate what it can do for the human component. And it also works for cats and some horses and many, well, to be honest, it works for all mammals in reducing the oxidative stress through the scientific backgrounds there. So you see this study done at the Arizona Hospital, Prescott Animal Hospital, Prescott, Arizona. And some of the other pieces that came through, it was a blind study. The veterinary technicians didn't know what was going on. The owners didn't know what were going on. But the owners almost knew immediately which ones were taking the Pet Tandem products, okay? Overall disability score in hip involvement, freedom of mobility. And then we were also able to validate that study with blood measurements in antioxidants, catalase. You see a 36% increase during the 60-day test period. And then the dogs taking the placebo or the non-Pet Tandem had an 11% decrease in their catalase at day 60. So there's that overall increase of 47% of the control dogs, the placebos, versus the ones on the Pet Tandem. So its ability to upregulate that oxidative capacity has been proven here once again. Now, we always like to get outside validation. Here's just looking around on the web, the supplementpolice.com, in their own words, how LifeVantage Pet Tandem for Dog works. Using the Nerf2 science, promotes the production of SOD, catalase, glutathione, so helping those dogs remain active. This dietary supplement is not only internal, but can also be viewed externally. And I've got some good pictures here for you that in just a moment. Okay, so the science is real. You can do your own scrutiny. I certainly have. You can take my confidence that I have looked at this greatly. Firm believer in this product and what it does for our animal friends. Here's Buster, 9-year-old Great Dane mixed breed. We call that look in veterinary medicine ADR, or ain't doing right. Okay, he's lost some of the muscles above his head. He just looks droopy. He's gray. He's not well. Okay, as we worked on a few things, and he began to take the Pet Tandem product as along with his owner.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
In 6 months, here comes Buster back in. Owner took the photo, looking a little brighter. As you can see, some of the muscles there on his, above his ears are coming back there and looking better. And then another 6 months, Buster is a great dog once again. Now, he is a Great Dane. They typically don't live long. Buster got an extra 2 years of quality life there when, you know, his owner thought he might have been on his deathbed. Oscar, in our original story, passed away February of 18, a full 4 years of additional good quality life, which speaks to the power of nutrigenomics NRF2 activation. So there's additional studies how antioxidants can help the behavior effects, help those animals with cognition, okay? So there's some more studies there that we've had and how that affects significant improvement in the owner perception of their pet's behavior, as well as notable trends, blood measures for catalase, reduction in those T-bars. And if you haven't seen the ABC video, I recommend you go out, find that, as Gabe mentioned. Just extraordinary validation. Okay? Here's another one. Deficiency of NRF2 accelerates the effector phase, arthritis, and aggravates joint disease. So we're talking about a deficiency of NRF2. We have the answer for that as LifeVantage. So what all does this do? What is continual support? I'm going to introduce you now. This is one of our most recent patients. Melissa has quite a few animals, and probably into the hundreds now, of dogs and cats that regularly take Pet Tandem, and their owners taking the Pro Tandem after they see the effects. This is Kiefer. Kiefer is 19 years old. And
Did you say 19?
He's been on Pet Tandem for about 3 years.
David, did you say 19?
Now, everybody wishes their puppies would stay into the puppy phase for their whole life. For Kiefer here, it's been extraordinary. Most of the time, we consider our 19-year-old dogs not very playful. They like to lay around on the couch, on the pillows, on the couch. And I just think that these visuals here just completely validate the power of nutrigenomics, Pet Tandem, and Pro Tandem for that matter. So, Gabe.
That is absolutely incredible. And I want to repeat what Dr. Thompson said, folks, because I want you to be able to understand the enormity of what the activation of pathways will do for you as well as your pets. And that NRF2 pathway activates itself and it starts doing what your body was meant to do for the first 20 years of life, and that's make more good guys. And this is the power of working inside the cell that Dr. Thompson talked about. When you take vitamin C, vitamin E, beta carotene, direct antioxidants, so we've all heard of direct antioxidants, they work outside the cell. And as Dr. Thompson said, they annihilate one bad guy at a time, all right? What this product does that has this synergistic blend of 5 natural plants, it activates that pathway, and those antioxidant enzymes like SOD that he was talking about and glutathione and catalase kills 1 million bad guys per second. So let me ask you this question. What team do you want to be on for yourself and for your animals? Do you want to be on the one and done team? That's trailing edge, science. Or do you want to be on the 1 in 1 million team per second? All right. That is cutting edge technology. And that's why we are so excited to be able to help people that we love and care for, the difference between the two. So listen to me very carefully. Taking antioxidants are now a thing of the past. Making them is the future. And as Dr. Thompson said, it's a better tool, it's more efficient, and more importantly, it's safer. So that's why we're so excited. Now I've got a couple, questions for you, Dr. Thompson. Why do our precious dogs, and of course I have a dog and I've got a couple of stories I want to share with you too and share with everyone, but why do they age 7 times faster than we do? That's not fair.
There's a song by Curtis Salgado called The Greatest Wish, and you need to listen to it sometimes, but he wants his dog to live longer. If you've never heard that song, you should. The metabolism, and of course it's in their genetic makeup. Why do hamsters live 3 to 5 years? Cats, 20 years. Horses, they all have that biological clock, but there are other processes that affect us too. Our environment can also premature ages also. And we're seeing probably more and more of that with today's atmosphere, with some of that extra ozone in the atmosphere, with some of these extra processed foods we eat. People that take really good care of themselves, that eat right, stay away from some of the vices, they tend to have a very long and healthy life. Some of the rest of us need a little help.
Right. So the main catalyst is their metabolism.
Correct.
Gotcha. Okay. Because I mean, if my wife and 2 kids would allow my dog to sit in the front seat when we go bye-bye and they sit in the back, it's happening. I mean, that's what kind of dog person I am. So I've got a great story. I mean, I've had, a couple of dogs that's been on, our pet tandem. It was called Canine Health, as you mentioned earlier. But I just went to the vet. I have a 5.5-year-old, she's got some lab in her. She's a mix, we basically, saved her. And we took her to the vet about 1.5 years, 2 years ago, because she was limping after she would run really hard on the beach. And the veterinarian says, well, I think, with filling her, we think her ACL might be torn. She would stay off of it for a while and not run, then it'll be fine. And for me to have surgery on a very young dog like that soon, I was just apprehensive. Well, I took my dog back to the vet last week, and the vet was asking me, hey, Abby looks great. What's going on? I go, ever since you said that, I've been putting this dog on a Nerf 2 activator. He didn't know what that was. And I told him it was called Pet Tandem. And I go, she has no issues. I mean, I just took her to the beach that morning before I took her to the vet. And he went down, did, his little deal and says, my goodness, everything feels great. What is going on with this dog? So my dog now has been on this product, for over 1 year, and we can see some incredible differences. And what's really interesting? It's how shiny her fur is, and she don't have the itchies. I mean, she's just a different dog on the product. So I'm hoping all of you that are on this webinar tonight, if you love your animals as much as we do, man, this is something you need to put in their body, because I promise you, we haven't had one person, says, hey, my dog didn't get any benefits from this. So I thank you so much for your insight. I really, really appreciate the slides, and I really love the videos. And I'm sure I'm going to have all kinds of people tonight saying, where can I see this recorded version? So it will be on our website, folks. It's connectandimpact.today. Give us a couple of days for us to upload it, and then you can share it with all your friends. Well, folks, let's talk about the business now. That was just one facet of LifeVantage. And when I started back in 2009, folks, we only had one product. It was that Nerf 2 activator, Pro Tandem, our flagship product. Today we have 18 products. So I can't go through all the products in a 45-minute webinar. So what I've been doing for the last several weeks is just spotlighting, certain products. And tonight was Pet Tandem. So get with the person that invited you, if you're a guest, that invited you on this webinar, and ask them how you can get Pro Tandem NRF2, and how can your dog or your pets, and Dr. Thompson said, as long as your pet is a mammal, breathing oxygen, right, they'll have some benefit. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and I want to talk a little bit about the company LifeVantage. Let me put my glasses on and get that going for everyone. Go. What Dr. Thompson was talking about tonight was this term nutrigenomics. You know, nutritious food, and genomics is gene expression. So all this, you know, this product does is turn down your bad genes, turns up your good genes. You can see what the Today Show said. The latest trend in nutrition isn't a fad diet or a newly discovered supplement, it's your DNA. So you can actually, get the best version of yourself now, and that's called biohacking your own body. And you can see what Fox News said: the ability to use nutrition, not drugs, nutrition, to affect our genes means we're no longer at the mercy of our DNA. Folks, a nutrigenomics is already multiple billion-dollar industry. And it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger as we go on. And I don't really want to take the time to show this video. Let me get this. I want to get to the business side of things. Yep. That's the ABC prime time. And let me just back up, because this is how Pet Tandem came about. From our flagship product, Pro Tandem, that has those 5 natural plants. And those 5 plants are turmeric, anti-inflammatory, right? Milk thistle, that detoxifies, the bad enzymes in your liver. Green tea extract, anti-cancer. Bacopa, which is brain health, memory. And ashwagandha, which is mental clarity and focus. And again, it's the synergy of those 5 ingredients that changes the chemistry. You can't go buy those 5 ingredients and expect it to activate that NRF2 pathway. And this is the science behind the statement that I just said. You can see the slide. When you take them individually, they work like a direct antioxidant. They kill one bad guy at a time. But the synergy of all 5 of them increases gene expression 18-fold. That's 1,800%, folks. So it's the synergy that activates that pathway that we have patents and peer-reviewed science on. So that's what's so fascinating, and that's where Pet Tandem came from. And there's the information on our 20 peer-reviewed. We have over 20 peer-reviewed published studies on the product, folks, not ingredients that's in the product. And you can see some of the journals, the American Heart Association, the Free Radical Biology and Medicine. You can see some of the universities that have studied this science and this product, which is absolutely fascinating. And you can see what Washington State University says about NRF2 activation. We may be on the verge of a new literature on health effects of NRF2, which may well become the most extraordinary therapeutic and the most extraordinary preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. Listen to me, folks. Getting your own body to do its own work. Not putting drugs in your system to wreak havoc on your organs and have all kinds of drug-on-drug interactions. Okay, this is the new future, and we're at the forefront of it. We're first to market. So those of you that are on this webinar that are entrepreneurial, are looking for a side hustle. Folks, when I started this business, I had no intention ever leaving the fitness business. Are you kidding me? It's the only thing I knew. 22 months later, we're writing our last payroll check, guys. This is how big this is. And that was nearly This August will be 8 years ago that I've been able to walk away. Been nearly 10 years with the company. So please look into this. I mean, I know the person that invited you on this webinar, there was a reason why they did, right? You have the right list of ingredients of who we're looking for to be able to communicate this with people that we love and care for, okay? I'm not going to go through all the studies, but I mean, it increases, you know, the lifespan too, folks. And there's other activators as well. But I'm going to get to the business part because I want to really respect everyone's time tonight. There's all our products.
Take a deep.
I got some videos on here, don't I? Okay, where did it start? And Dr. Thompson said this. Watch this ABC Primetime News piece. That video changed my life and my family's life and a lot of people in the last nearly 10 years, okay? So, I mean, think about this from an entrepreneurial standpoint. What if you owned your own business, okay? And if you don't, the person that you work for, right? What if ABC News comes knocking on your door or his or her door and says, hey, listen, we've been hearing nothing but great things about your business. We would like to do a positive spin on it. Would it help you build your business? Would it help you get a few more customers? That's what I saw, folks. 10 years ago. I saw that in July of 2009. My jaw dropped. Point Guide Direct people to that video is all I've done. So think about that for a second. Now, what I want you to think about is not only is ABC going to be advertisement, but what if there's no competition? So whatever your business is or whoever you work for, whatever their business is, not only do you have ABC News as your advertisement, but now there's no competition. Is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? That's what we have. And I'll show you this one slide right here. On top of no competition, now this is our Vitality Stack. This is our flagship product, Pro Tandem, which is a Nerf 2 activator. This bottle is a NRF1 activator. This is our Omega Plus, and that's our probiotic. And I didn't realize that there were actually agencies that have, you know, people that test products. You know, this is, you know, we just won the 2018 Stevie Bronze Award. And you can just kind of glance at this. This was over 3,900, you know, entries, products in 74 countries. So, and this product has only been out a year, and we're rated the #1 product in the world. So with no competition, ABC News, you see where I'm going with this? You see why we're so excited? There is a new science in town, folks, and we are first to market, which is a big deal, okay? What I love about this company, it's publicly traded. All right, folks, I started buying stock when it was at 17 cents and people thought I was nuts. Just go to Yahoo Finance, right? And you can see the symbol right here on the slide, LFVN, and see where it is now, okay? I love the fact, the reason why I love the fact it's publicly traded is not because another way of me owning the piece of the company, but also it's the transparency. Everything that Dr. Thompson said tonight, everything that I'm saying tonight, we can't embellish. You can go look, all right? If we say over 24 peer-reviewed studies on the product, folks, you can look that up, right? So I love the fact that there's no embellishing going on, okay? I love the fact that right now we are only in 15 countries and we're projected to be in over 100 countries. So what does that tell you? You know what it tells me? There is nowhere to go but grow. Companies are going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. I became a distributor with this company when it was a $3 million a year company. Folks, we're just under $250 million today. And most of you that are on this webinar tonight probably have never heard the activation of pathways, the terms nutrigenomics or biohacking the aging code. They're going to be household names in the future. So timing is very, very important. And I think what I love too is the fact It's the CEO who's running the company. He has over two and a half decades of experience, and what he's done in his tenure in the last 3.5 years is methodically, one by one, have hired those executive level people, CFO, COO, so on, and they have that kind of tenure in this industry. So I love that. And I also love the fact that he's taken this small little NRF2 company, and he's the one that's turned this company into a nutrigenomic company. So that's what I love about the company. A little bit about the business model, and I can't believe it's already time to go, but what I want you to do while it's on the brain is get with the person who invited you and have them walk through the different ways of being paid. I'm not going to be able to cover all 8 ways. This is what I want you to understand. 93% of people are trading time for money today. In other words, you worked 8 hours today, you got paid 8 hours, right? And then the meter stops. Only 7%, not even 7% of people do something one time and get paid again and again and again. So what this business model is, folks, is we're building a network, okay? And people who build networks, they're the richest people in the world, all right? Everyone else, has a job. How's trading time for money working for you? I worked in the fitness business over 30 years, pretty successful at what I did until 2009. And the word retirement was nowhere on the horizon. I was going to work until I dropped, right? Because I was trading time for money. What I mean by that is if I worked you out in the gym this morning, I am now unemployed until I train you again, right? Trading time for money. Just like a chiropractor, just like your physician, your doctor, just like the veterinarian, just like the attorney, just like 93% of jobs, trading time for money, right? The way I get paid today, it's passive income, right? It's not linear. Linear is trading time for money. In other words, I've been with this company nearly 10 years. If I trained you August 30th, that was the day that I enrolled, 2009, and you gave me that check every single month. So when, May 1st comes, today's what? Today's the, 29th. So in a couple of days, May 1st, 2019, you're giving me another check, right? But I only worked you out that one time back in 2009. That would be equivalent to you going to work tomorrow if you got paid passive income and your boss has this funny look on his or her face and says, "What are you doing here?" "Boss, I'm coming to work. I want to get paid." "Well, we're going to pay you today what you did yesterday." Now compound that by 10 years, folks, and it grows exponentially. So in other words, I'm still getting that check, that small little itty bitty check that I did my first month in the business. I'm still getting it, and it compounds over time. Okay. So that's the difference. Okay. I think it was Warren Buffett says, if you're not making money while you sleep, you're going to work until you die. Okay. So this is a great opportunity to start out like I did as a side hustle. I got started with this business, folks, just to make $2,200 a month to keep our 2 children in private school. Never in a million years would I ever thought I would be doing this full time, right? I would never have left the fitness business. But 22 months later, we're writing our last payroll check, and it's really, really have grown. Everyone can get involved with this business because it's affordable. It's called low barrier entry. You can get started for as little as $350. That's what we call a silver pack, that you can buy product so you can try some product. You can come in a gold pack for $650, or you can come in the way that I did, a platinum pack at $1,250. I want to try all the product, right? And I want to get the biggest bang for my buck. Now think about what I just said. Owning your own international distribution business. It's like you're Mr. Starbucks. You're not a franchisee. for as little as 350 bucks. The most important part of this business model that I not only think it's most important, but to me, it's the most incredible way to do business. It only costs me $200 a month to operate my business. So in other words, if you're a business owner, what if on your balance sheet under fixed costs, it only says 200? You probably don't believe me, do you? And what's fascinating, you can actually mitigate it as little as 40 bucks a month, as long as you have 160 in customers. So a total of 200 bucks a month to operate your business. My business does 7 figures a month. 7. And it costs me $200 a month to operate. Okay. So the business model today, everyone's moving in the same direction as Uber, as Airbnb, WhatsApp, Facebook, Amazon, right? Social selling. I'm in my office here in Jacksonville, Florida. Dr. Thompson was in his home. It looked like his home in Mississippi. We have hundreds and hundreds of people on this webinar all over the country and internationally, and we can build a business without leaving the confines of our own home. And we can expedite the amount of time it takes us to build the business because of the advent of the internet. Okay. With that said, folks, it's my time. Okay. I want to respect everyone's time. So think about what I said. ABC News is your advertisement, right? No competition. We're rated the #1 product in the world. Is that good or is that bad? All right. I love the no competition, by the way. Okay. And then how minuscule it costs to own your own business. And you can do this business from the confines of your own home. So when you're driving to work, instead of listening to the radio, you can get on the phone and says, oh my goodness, I found something for us. You need to get on this webinar on Monday night and watch what I just watched and give them the meeting ID number. Every Monday night, we do this opportunity meeting. We always cover some, a product. We hit the vitality stack, which was the product that was rated #1 in this country, or all over the world, I should say, for about 1.5 years. And I felt like we were a little unbalanced and not doing justice for our skincare, NRF2 skincare, NRF2 Pet Tandem, NRF2 Axio. So we've got some absolutely incredible products, folks, that nobody else has. That is the difference maker. Okay. Yes, there's a lot of network marketing companies out there, but they're a dime a dozen. How many weight loss shakes are there out there? How many makeup companies are there out there? How many weight loss companies are there out there? Everyone says, which one, which one, which one? There's only one company that's a nutrigenomic that activates pathways. And that's what separates us from everyone else. Yes, it's work. You're building a business. And if you follow this simplistic system that we have, it's duplicable, it's perfected, and it's simplistic. Just follow the system. Systems don't fail. People fail systems. Okay. So with that said, get with the person that invited you. They will break down the 8 different ways of being paid. You get paid on the front end. You get paid weekly, folks. Okay. And you get paid monthly. And there are some incredible global revenue sharing when you hit the elite ranks with this company. So with that said, Dr. Thompson, thank you so much for your expertise tonight. Thank you so much for sharing the slides and the videos with us. I know you've got a lot of people that are excited that's going to want to share this with all their friends who owns animals as well. Thank you so much. And tell Melissa I said hello. And maybe we'll get her on next time. I know she was busy with her father, and hopefully everything goes well there.
Thank you again, Gabe.
Okay, thank you. Folks, thank you so much. We will be back here next Monday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time, same meeting ID number with another fabulous professional to help all of us understand the enormity of what nutrigenomics is. My name is Gabe Pearson. We'll see you next Monday night. Good night, everyone.